Hello, everybody, and welcome into another draft preview video here at the Hockey Writers. I'm your host, Matthew Zator, and in this one, we're going to be predicting the top 5 of the draft coming up. Today, as you're watching this, it's going to be happening probably in a few hours, depending on when you're watching this video. But the top 5 is not really solidified, which is interesting. I mean, it was kind of, we thought, oh yeah, for sure, we're going to know pretty much the top 3, but that's even up in the air. So we'll see what we predict on this video. But I've got a few writers here. Seen them, you've probably seen them on multiple videos. I know Mike and Alex have been on. Chase has been on. We've all been on. So Alex Hutton covers the San Jose Sharks. Mike Fink, the New York Islanders, and Chase Beardsley, the Utah Mammoth. Now, so we got everyone except the Chicago Blackhawks and the Nashville Predators here. But we're going to have Brooke here, but couldn't join us on the video. But I will be the Chicago Blackhawks GM on this one. She did text me a couple options, so I will have some informed decision. But let's get this prediction going and start with the New York Islanders, first overall pick for the first time in a long time. Mike, I mean, this is probably an obvious one, unless you go off the board and think the Islanders are going to go a different direction. But who's going first overall?
I'm not going to take too much time here. I don't think that there's a lot of smoke about maybe the Islanders take Misa or they would have traded the pick. And you could talk yourself into Misa, excellent player, elite center, who you could probably build your forward unit around. But I'm not overthinking this. The Islanders, I don't think will overthink it. And Darsh who's a first-time GM, just – you take the best player on the board, the player with the most upside, Matthew Zator, who's also interestingly the best defenseman, and the next best defenseman might be going in the 10-15 range, which tells you the gap between Zator and the rest of the class. I think what I've heard about him, it's the Miro Heiskanen comps that get you excited about having a defenseman, a top pair defenseman in the future who can do it all, play 25 minutes ice time. The Islanders have both needs where they need scoring and they need that defenseman for the future. But yeah, they're going to go. I don't see them overthinking. You go with Zator, and maybe he's not ready this year, but he's going to be that defenseman of the future. You kind of build your team around because he does it all.
Yeah, I think it's Matthew Zator. Unless, like I said, the Islanders kind of throw one out of left field and pick Michael Misa, which wouldn't be a horrible pick. I mean, he's going to be a great player too. But I think Matthew Schaefer's the first overall pick in this one for sure. All right, well, that brings us to the San Jose Sharks. Alex, are you going off the board? There has been talk where that Anton Frundell could be the second overall pick. What is your prediction of where the Sharks are going based on what you've kind of garnered in the last, day or so?
Yeah, no, it is getting really interesting, the different directions it's going, all these rumors and chatter that are coming out. I will say I do think there's an argument to be made, actually, that if Schaefer's not available at the second pick, the Sharks could try to trade down. That's something that I think they could look into. I wouldn't rule out as a possibility. With that being said, I do think at this moment, Michael Misa remains the most likely option for them with the second pick. 134 points this year, goal per game scorer in the OHL, was teammates with Igor Chernyshov, who's a Sharks prospect the team is really high on. So there's a built-in chemistry advantage there. And I think it is worth noting, yes, there are these rumors about Frundell coming out, and I do think that's worth paying attention to. Can't be ruled out at all. But at the same time, a lot of the reporters who are saying that are sort of caveating it with, I do think it's still Misa. I'm just less certain of that now than I was a few days ago. So I think with all those factors considered in, I do think Misa remains the most likely choice at second.
All right. So it's the same as our mock draft. Matthew Zator and Michael Misa going 1-2. Third overall. And I'm going to go for the Chicago Blackhawks here. And that, there's a lot of talk of where they're going to go. Could be Port Martone. It could be Anton Frundell. And I'm going to go with Anton Frundell here at third overall. Their centers. Connor Bedard is, of course, the top line center for foreseeable future, you'd think, in Chicago. And you always need that great 1-2 punch down the middle. And Anton Frundell definitely brings that. And there's a reason why the Sharks are kind of maybe looking at him as well, because he is that great two-way center that could be an elite, maybe a Selke Trophy winner down the line. And he can score, and he's fast, and he's got a lot of speed as well. So I think he would really fit and really bolster that center depth. That the Blackhawks do have some centers in their system too. Oliver Moore's a great player as well. So they just got so many great prospects. But adding Frondell here, I think, is a really good pick. Martone would be great too, I think. On the wing, he could be a really great Tage Thompson type top line winger. So I don't know. It probably wouldn't be too bad going that direction too. I'm going Anton Frondell for the Blackhawks at 3. Chase, all right, we're to the Utah Mammoth. They've got another high pick, 4th overall. Where do you think they're going to go? Assuming these 3 guys are the top 3.
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to go for a center here, which they're in luck for because there are quite a bit of centers on the board still. Center is their weakest position now that they've addressed their defense with these Shimashev and Boot signings. Boot obviously going to help out the forward core as well. The rumor has it is that they're very interested in Brady Martin. That's what our very own Mark Shag reported from the Combine. But there's other guys like Kevin DeSoyers. There's also guys like James Haggins, who has been rumored to go around that spot. But I'm going to stick with Brady Martin. I think he's someone that Utah really likes. I think, one, he's from the Sioux Greyhounds, which Utah is very familiar with. You got guys like Noel Nord and Owen Allard who are coming out of there and are Mammoth prospects. So they're well familiar with the coaching staff and how they develop their players down there. Martin's not too shabby offensively, 55 points in 72 games this past year. Not too bad. He's also a very physical guy, which I think Utah needs more of, especially as they, have all these younger players surrounding guys like, Josh Doan and also Logan Cooley and Dylan Gunther, who do need protecting. And I think Brady Martin is someone who can totally come out and do that. And I think finally, his overall personality fits the Mammoth mold really well. Something they always preach about is their culture, how proud they are about their hardworking and really close-knit culture. And as we know, Brady Martin might skip the draft because he needs to work on his family farm. I think just hearing that alone piques Utah's interest. So I think they're going to take Brady Martin at number 4.
Yeah, Martin's been mocked all over the place, really. In that top 10, it seems like there's some other teams that could be interested in him as well. And he's a fast riser. I think early on in the draft, this draft year, he wasn't projected to be in a top, I don't even know if a top 20 spot. And then he had that great with Team Canada, that great tournament there. I think that really put him on the radar of a lot of teams. And now he's probably going to be a top 10 pick, maybe even a top 5 pick, like you say. So I think that could be a good spot for him in Utah as well. They got so many great prospects and young players already in their lineup, and that would just add to it for sure. Stick with you, Chase, or the Predators. We don't have anyone covering the Predators on the site at the moment. So put on your Predators GM hat, and I guess it's Barry Trotz's hat then. Who would they be going at 5?
I think Nashville definitely goes for the best player on the board right now. And I think that right now with Utah taking Brian is Porter Martone. I think Porter Martone is the best player currently on the board from the Brampton Steelheads. Had a very good year. I think he's going to be a very good winger. Just looking at what we said about him on the Hockey Writers, he excels in tight spaces and he has quick hands. And I think that's something that Nashville needs. They need more skill, especially, offensive skill. They need more goals going for them. I think that's one of the many things they struggled with this past year. I think Martone can totally do that. 98 points in 57 games. I think he'll be pretty good for Nashville if they choose to select him.
Yeah, if that he's still available at 5, I think the Predators will be going. I mean, there's been talk about James Higgins, maybe them going for him as well. I mean, that's definitely a possibility. But Martone is he's got so much skill and that size. I think the Predators don't have anyone in their system right now that's like him. So if he's still available, I think that's a direction they'd go for sure, which would open up the Flyers to pick James Higgins at 6, which, I mean, it seems to be that it could fall that way. So we'll see how this all plays out. But we'll see if this is the top 5. Yeah. I think we're pretty close on for sure 1, 2. Beyond that, we're not really sure. I think Blackhawks could go a few different directions. So.
I was actually going to ask Chase while we're here because Utah and Nashville are the 2 teams that I could see trading out of their pick for a vet NHL for a big package. Let's say you get offered. If you're Utah right now, what offer would you take to move out of 4, to move out of Brady Martin? Just say the Islanders want to trade up, or say Boston wants one of these teams wants to trade up to 4. What offer would you take?
Bill Armstrong actually spoke about this as availability not too long ago, a couple days ago, actually. And he said it's going to take a really good offer to make him move from number 4. It has to be the right offer. And the right offer, I think, definitely includes a forward that can definitely step in and already be an impact player. I think Utah is planning to make the playoffs this next season. In fact, I know because Bill Armstrong expects them to, and they need someone who can automatically step in. And so, it's okay if they keep that 4th pick and, they wait in the system, because I think at the core right now, they believe in that core as of right now. But in trading it, they don't want, additional picks. They want someone who can step in. So, for Boston, someone that is worth that 4th overall pick. And I'm not going to throw out names because I don't think I've done too much research on what some of these teams can offer, but I think they need to offer someone who can really just step into that top 6, preferably a center, I think, because again, that is their weakest position, and just thrive and produce offense, because I think that's what they really need right now. And I think that's what Bill Armstrong thinks they need right now.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting. We were talking about trades. I mean, I've been talking about trades on some of these other preview videos with the Sabres, with the Bruins. We rarely see these top picks get moved. We always have these talks about rumors that, they're going to move his top pick. The first overall pick's in play. This second overall pick. They all go and they all pick. They're all picking players.
I think the last one was 7. Ottawa had the 7th pick and they traded it for Alex DeBrincat. So if you want to use that for a measurement, maybe Boston at 7, let's say, for someone that.
But I mean, a top 5 pick, I can't remember the last time a top 5 pick was moved.
It's been a while.
It's been a while if there was one. So I mean, I don't think any of these 5 are. I mean, Utah could trade it. I mean, they could, but I don't see it. I think the 5 teams that are in the top 5, I think we'll probably be picking.
Yeah, I think the closer we get to the draft, I think, the less I am, on the fence of, are they going to trade it? Are they going to use it? I think as of right now, I think they're 100% going to use it. But who knows? A deal could fly out of nowhere and they can move it. Yeah. But I think Bill Armstrong is comfortable with not moving it and selecting a player that fits the Utah mold and can step in a couple of years and hopefully help not just the playoff push, but maybe at that time, going deeper in the playoffs.
Yeah, it's good. It's going to be interesting. I think Utah they jumped into that 4th pick. I mean, they won a lottery there to get it. So bolstering a team that's pretty close to being a playoff team, which is pretty good. And like you said, Armstrong wants a push for the playoffs next season. They don't want to be a rebuilding team anymore. And I think they're really close to breaking through that. They could have done it last season. I mean, if not for that, I think it was that one losing streak that really kind of messed all that up. And they could have made it. They were really close. So, we'll see how this all plays out. But thanks, Alex, Chase, and Mike, for coming on and doing this quick video ahead of the draft. Make sure you're checking out everything at thehockeybears.com. We already have tons of stuff draft previews, videos. All of our draft guide is live with tons of prospect content, prospect profiles. We got over 150. I think we're closing on 160. We might actually be past that, but we got a lot to read. So check out all that. Also, all of our stuff that we will have on draft day, which we got live posts going as the picks are getting announced, and a lot of fun stuff afterwards, I'm sure, from all these writers on every draft pick that the Islanders, Mammoth, and Sharks get. The Sharks have a couple first-round picks, so one at the top and one at the bottom. So we'll see who they get, and of course, all the other picks that are there. So check out everything. But until our next video, we will see you next time.